When people think of makeup in the 1920s, they think of dark, smoky eyes, deep, shaped lips, and pale, painted skin. Actual color pictures from the era show the makeup was actually a little more vibrant than the reputation it's gained over time has given it. However, most of the images we see are actually images of actresses, not regular people. While the wearing of makeup in general became more acceptable in the 1920s, the Victorian notion that heavy makeup was only for actresses still pretty much prevailed. Even fashionable ladies who knew they were going to be photographed obviously are wearing much less makeup than your typical actress. Eye makeup especially tends to be much more mild on regular women. Eyeshadow wasn't actually much marketed until the 1930s. It used to only be for use by actresses, and it evolved from theatrical grease paint. You can see in painted portraits from the era that the desired look was not that heavily made up. We start with cold cream. Smear it all over your face. This is important to make a base for the makeup. It'll help to spread other colors and also give a base for the powder to stick. Blot the cold cream with a Kleenex. You don't want your face to be too oily. We're using a cream rouge pot here. We're going to begin by putting some onto our cheeks. This is a carmine red color. It was very common in the 1920s. Ideally, you want to apply it just under your eyes and make little circles on your cheeks with it. We're using the same thing for the lipstick and just applying it with the fingers. Lip rouge like this was still used in the 20s, although lipsticks were becoming more popular. For the face powder, we're using an authentic 1920s recipe. It's basically made from cornstarch with just a little bit of talc added. There's no pigment in this batch, and that was pretty typical in the 20s to just use white colored face powder, although you could also get face powder in pink and usually a sort of a light skin tone. As you can see here, the white powder isn't a heavy white like a clown makeup white. It's very transparent. Modern eye pencils are pretty similar to old-fashioned ones. In the 20s, you could only get two colors, black or brown, so here we're using black. Begin by doing your eyebrows and just filling them in. In the 20s, they liked to pluck the eyebrows very, very thin, but, that's not necessary to imitate. In another optional step, you can draw out the eyebrows a bit longer down to the corners of the eyes. This was trendy in the late 20s. For the eyes, line both the tops and the bottoms, and also be sure to fill in the corners so they connect. Mascara and eyeshadow were both more typical of actresses, but eye pencils were fairly common to use. Smudging the pencil to blend was recommended. The final effect is a realistic look for the everyday 1920s woman.